So I will be looking down periodically to read. Otherwise, I'll get so sidetracked. I will go on like 4 tangents. I will. Okay, so the question was, what made you choose the path you are currently following? So for starters, major reflection of my life. I didn't really choose this path. I wanted this path so bad, and I wasn't even sure all that this path was going to bring into my life. It basically unfolded right in front of me as time continued to go on. Like it's almost as if I would go through one little part of my life that I needed to experience, like I was in the middle of learning a lesson, and then I'd get my next bing, and then I had to learn that lesson, and then I'd get my next bing. So it's like casually I was being guided to where I currently am. Um, but yeah, I could see and feel this path for myself. Like ever since I was a little girl, I could feel everywhere inside of me. I was meant for something more and big and transformative and positive, but I didn't understand what that feeling meant. It wasn't until like within the past year of me learning the language of energy and connecting with my own energy field and like making sense of it that I started to make sense of what I was feeling when I was a little girl. So, I was also weak and I was a scared girl living in a sick and twisted society. So there was a lot of things that were kind of holding me back from ta-da, coming to this realization of this life that I should be living. Meant to, that I not should be, that I'm meant to be living. Until the day I was visited in a dream by a spirit guide. So he legitimately looked like a wizard, like gray beard, legitimately looked like a wizard. White beard, cane. Yep. I had woke up on December 22nd. I was crying nonstop after another blackout drunk night. To get extremely personal about my last night of drinking, I had gotten off of work bartending and went to another bar that was still open. I continued to drink and then proceeded to leave to smoke with some guys because why not? I didn't have a dog at home or anything, or a professional job to be at in the morning. I had started to black out leaving the bar. My last recollection is us walking out of the bar. And I ended up waking up in my car with a guy on top of me. I had no clue who he was. All I have is a very vivid memory of this extremely creepy smile on his face. And I had asked him to get off of me, and he laughed. So I said, no, seriously, I need to go home. Get off of me. This wasn't the first time I had an experience like this, and I was sick and tired of my behavior and situations I'd put myself in that led me to feeling absolutely disgusting about myself. I don't associate it with being taken advantage of because I know the type of person I am. I am a very horny and sensual woman. So, with me being blackout drunk, who even knows what led to that? But I can't consider myself innocent. I had woken up to call into work sick because that's what would happen. My hangovers would seriously last 3 days. I'd get excruciating migraines. It would dehydrate and deplete me of everything within me. So like I'd feel so weak to the point like it was hard for me to get out of bed. Like I couldn't move. So I woke up to call into work sick, and then I thankfully fell back asleep cuddling Yogi, hating my life, wanting so much to change, not even knowing where to start. This spirit guide took me along a journey of my life, from me at a young age all the way to me in the future. He showed me my younger self and how silly she was and how much she made other people laugh and how hard she loved and how inquisitive she was of others' lives and feelings. He showed me my then current self, a hot mess, with an option to go down one of two roads. The first road was Hannah if she kept behaving the way she did. And what I saw was Yogi being taken away from me. I saw disappointment and major hurt on people's faces that meant so much to me. I saw me potentially harming someone in a car accident, ending up in jail, or homeless on the side of the road, never making anything of myself, never reaching goals I want, never becoming the person I know I'm meant to be. The second road was Hannah if she decided to stay true to herself and what she deep down knows is best for her, what she deeply wants to create herself into and make of her reality. I saw myself thriving in nature, by the ocean, in the jungle, smiling so big. I saw myself extremely healthy, I saw myself guiding and leading others into finding their own happiness. I saw myself dancing without a care in the world with this confidence that came from not only surviving, but befriending my darkest shadows. I saw myself laughing with my family and creating core memories. I saw myself present and aware, not feeling the need to escape. This Hannah was so beautiful. She loved with an open heart and radiated joy from every part of her. I woke up from this dream by literally jumping up, throwing my covers off of me, repeating, "What the fuck am I doing?" Fast walking into my kitchen, throwing every ounce of alcohol out, going back into my bedroom, looking Yogi in the face and saying, "Thank you so much for literally everything. I'm so sorry for the way life has been, but it's all about to change." I made a promise with myself and with Yogi and literally never looked back. Ooh, I'm sorry. I think I'm done being emotional though. I think that's it. When we moved to Florida a few months later, we moved to Florida a few months later because I got a promotion for this law firm I was working at. I viewed it as a fresh start to get my shit together and figure out what I truly wanted. I reflected so hard for so long in such silence about what was deeply important to me, what I think the meaning of life is, what's going to bring me the most happiness, how can I positively impact so many other people in a way that I'm most passionate about. My mind just kept going in the direction of health, removing toxins and poisons from one's life, and mental wellness. As I sat at the desk of my corporate America job, I started creating a business plan to open up my own business, to host my own healing retreats, to be catered more towards addicts, since I have personal experience working through and overcoming that, but also for those who want to deeply heal their trauma and transform it into power and overcome mental limitations, discovering a deep love and respect for themselves. Those who are ready to see the light on the other side and put the work in. I couldn't stand so many things at the company I worked for. Their leadership is bonkers. It's like a popular high school group opened up a business, and you can't sit with them unless you go to company parties and drink and blah, blah, blah. There was so much corruption going on everywhere. And it's so true. To give you a little insight, I got my promotion to move out to Florida to work at their headquarters after attending a company holiday party, and drinking was involved, and I hadn't gotten sober yet. So I had talked with a gentleman who was very high up within this company, and I actually went to high school with his daughter. So we were talking, like, we got along very well. And that night he brought up the option for me to move to Florida. And then like 2 weeks later, another guy within the company who's like in charge of like hiring talent and moving them around and what have you, he approached me and said, "So blank was serious. Were you serious about wanting to move down there?" And I was like, "I need to figure out logistics, but yes." So shortly after, me and two other girls had moved down there. This guy who was really high up at the company, and then the other guy who's in charge of the talent, they scheduled an outing for us to meet together at this bar and just see how things are going and hang out. So we go, and everybody at this point knows I'm not drinking anymore. I'm vocal about it, and it's something I'm like very proud about. It's a huge part of my life. But it's not like, I mean, if they order drinks at the bar, I'm not giving them a hard time for ordering drinks. Like, I just don't talk about it. I don't say anything about it. So one of the girls and I, we had brought up to the guy who's very high up at this company about how we were talking about the Christmas party that was going to come up in like a few months. And we were like, "You should bring us with you," because we were still friends with a lot of the legal assistants in Omaha. So we were like, "You should just bring us with you, and like we can surprise everybody and like jump out." We were like planning a whole entire thing. And he looks over at me. I'm not even joking you. He looks over at me and he says, "You don't even drink. Why would we bring you?" I was like, it took everything inside of me. I kind of shot back. I looked him in his face and I said, "Drinking or not, I'm the life of the party." somebody with that status and title in the company talking to me like that and just knowing the way that his mind now works. That was the day that changed everything for me when it came to this company. So again, little rant tidbit, but I feel like that's important for you guys to know. Okay, so since removing alcohol and forming a deeper level of respect for myself, one I hadn't ever experienced before, I had become very intolerant to many things I once tolerated. People, places, things, etc. To say the least, my whole entire being was so done being disrespected. I was so sick and tired for not being noticed for my talents and strengths. It wasn't just at this corporate America job, it was at basically everyone I had ever worked for. I just tolerated it until I found something else better, because that's what society tells you to do, right? Oh, you didn't get that promotion? Try again tomorrow. There'll be a different job tomorrow. Did you even compare resumes? Did you conduct interviews? Because no, I know the answer, and the answer is no. At that point, I had been in contact with a former friend of mine who owns a gym here in Nebraska. And although I knew it wasn't going to be long term for me, as I'm 100% meant to be an entrepreneur and clearly had already begun forming my own business plan, I figured it'd be a good start in the health industry for me. I knew that I had so much to learn, and I was very eager to. Although this opportunity didn't end the best, it was worth experiencing along my journey. I 100% needed to experience this because it taught me more about myself. I started to learn health wasn't only about all the hype workouts and supplements. Health is about deeply regulating your nervous system and listening to your body. I was running so many classes at this business, it was insane. My whole entire body became dysregulated. My emotions went haywire. Every single day, I was forcing myself to not blow up or freak the fuck out. Like every single day when I had left my corporate America job, I had told myself, like, I will no longer ever tolerate disrespect. I won't put myself anywhere or continue to stay somewhere where I feel unvalued, disrespected, unheard. You know what I mean? Just I know my worth. I'm standing firm. I'm drawing a line in the sand. I know my fucking worth. And if you can't show me that you see my worth, there's nothing here. There's nothing left here. So then that's when I also started to look very deeply into like human design. What is human design? I've always thought that like astrology, the stars, everything has a deeper meaning in life. And so I started to look into my human design, what exactly that meant. And that's when I discovered I'm a projector who loves sleep. And I'm not meant to be running around working so hard to make something of myself. I'm meant to observe and guide others on easier ways and more fulfilling ways of completing something or getting to where they want to be. If you've never looked into human design, I highly, highly, highly recommend it, because when I looked into my profile and I started, so many things started to make sense. It was wild. I highly recommend looking into your human design. I realized I'm not prioritizing my own health out of hopes for this opportunity working out, and what the fuck is the point? I told myself when I left the law firm, I will never tolerate disrespect or stay where I didn't feel I was being valued. I was like, I'm supposed to be preaching about being healthy, working out, getting sleep, etc. I wasn't even sleeping 5 hours a night because of my schedule. I'd be teaching the night class, and then I'd have to wake up for the morning class. And if I didn't show up for the morning class, no members could get in. So it was constant pressure. Sometimes I wouldn't even fall asleep because I didn't want to oversleep my alarm out of fear of me not waking up and the members not being able to get in. It was just this constant cycle. Every single day I woke up, I was in an argument with myself because I knew I was going against my body and the way I felt. And I was like trying so hard to make this opportunity work and pretend like everything was okay. But I was abandoning myself in trying to make it work. So yeah, I was like, I need to get out of this situation fast before Dragon Hannah comes out. I do have pretty gnarly anger inside of me. I always have since a very young age. Removing alcohol made me realize it even more because I couldn't run away from it. And so it's taken me a lot to control my anger. And I'm at a very good place where I can control my anger like very, very well for the most part. But if I'm triggered and I'm in like a mood where I feel like disrespected, unheard, or something like that, it deeply triggers me. And so if I'm in a situation like that, like I might automatically breathe fire at you, we're in the works of, yeah, controlling our anger still. Just don't disrespect me and we'll be fine. Okay, so I had looked into meditation and breathwork a few times along my journey, but not until after I decided being a personal trainer isn't really for me. I was like, I know I'm meant to be involved in the health industry, just at what capacity? A few members at the gym had mentioned I would be great at being a yoga instructor, but even that didn't feel 100% right. I was like, I'm a deep soul, like I want to go deeper with deeper impact. I thought about becoming a therapist or an addiction counselor, but I didn't want to restrict my clientele or go through years of school at a university with a curriculum created by corrupt men. Personal opinion. I want to be free and wild and independent. I want people to walk away from a session with me feeling so incredibly transformed. I love preaching about relaxing, slowing down, being present, tuning into your own being, sitting in silence, finding the power within you, and taking control of your life. I was like, ding, 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 breathwork meditation instructor. It just makes sense. So for income work, I found an amazing family to work with for nanny house manager position on a contract basis to make sure my bills are taken care of while I study to fully step into this new version of myself, and begin a completely brand new journey for myself, helping others, surrounded by constant love and gratitude. So that is my story on what made me choose the path I'm currently on. And there's so many different parts to it because, again, like it wasn't just this like one time decision. Like there were so many things that led me up to making the decision of the path that I'm currently on. And I feel it's all very important information for me to get out there for people to know and hear and be able to connect deeper with me. You know what I mean? So thank you so much for listening if you've made it this far. Mwah! I hope you have a great Monday. I will be on to the next question now.